Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's Season 2, Episode 6, and as promised we're back for this huge relegation six-pointer against Carshalton, as we could secure our survival for the National League South this season. That's right, and first and foremost we need to say that after two clubs where we've had difficult spells, to be fair, in the first year and a half, we've finally found a club where I feel confident, I feel at home. They play in a similar style to the way I like to play, focusing on wing play, a bit like the old United sides where they play 4-4-2, got the ball wide, got good attacking crosses in, and just tried to get on the front foot more often than not. I'm not saying we're going to be as good as that, or we're going to even be as good as we are in our other FM19 story part of the furniture with Torquay. And we have had to adapt it and make it a little bit more defensive to work with the players we've got at the club. But it's still a lot closer to the way I like to play than we've had in this story so far. And I feel like this is the first club I can really succeed at. Since you were last with me, we've had some crucial news on the transfer front. Our new director of football and chairman, whoever else you want to give the credit for, they got in two central midfielders, the position we said we were crying out for to make this squad successful. Jack Bridge was the first of them. He's a 24-year-old central midfielder signed on a free transfer. He's our second highest paid player at the club behind the keeper now, but with 3-star ability and 5-star potential, versatility to play across the midfield four, and a decent passer of the ball that works hard, we couldn't ask for much more. And you can see at the bottom there, he's already got 2 assists in 3 games. So what a fantastic signing he's been. He was at Billericay last, where he got a few goals to be fair. But we'll forgive him for the fact that he went to the money bags. He's with us now at Slough Town and he's starting to make a real impression at the club. We've also signed what's turned out to be his backup in Oscar Ramirez, another central midfielder, 3-star ability again with 5-star potential. He's on loan from Notts County until the end of the season. Again, a decent passer of the ball that works hard. Not quite as good mentally or technically across the board, which is why he's not starting for us. But he has made 1 league appearance for Notts County and has come off the bench a couple of times for us already, as well as the 1 start, so he's very much been a good player for us and a very useful acquisition. Just the 2 signings, as the window was obviously only a week from closing. We haven't done a great deal of business, but they got the player in the position I really needed and even got a backup for him, so I have no complaints at all with what they've done. If we go and have a look at the results since you were last with me, we've actually been excellent. We've only played the 4 games, but we've managed to pick up 7 points and it really should have been 9. If we look at the home game against Bath, the one we said at the end of the last episode, we just had to win, and it was such a good performance. We went 1-0 up and were pegged back almost immediately, and I thought from there the confidence would go, but the star man Jatta got the goal, and Stevens came off the bench with a late goal to wrap things up. We then played at home to promotion chasers Dulwich Hamlet, and similar to the Bromley game, we just didn't quite have the quality. We gave them a game, but we got absolutely outplayed and had to defend for our lives. Jatta again with a goal from the penalty spot, but a 2-1 defeat in the end. We then went away to East Thurrock a week later, a mid-table side who have been doing okay this season. Bettamar scored a screamer for them and had a couple of other great efforts from range, but Jatta again was the key man up there. We've got a bit of a problem with his strike partner in Pappy Gay, where our director of football's tried to offer him a new contract, but he can't get a work permit due to the Brexit that we've had in game. So it looks like he's going to have to go in the summer. But Jatta is the key man here, and I'm starting to see why he was in the fans' favoured personnel. What a player he's been. He's got the fans on side. He's got the squad on side with me, more importantly. And with 2 late goals there, he wrapped up what is almost certainly going to be survival for us. 2 days later, we had the Bank Holiday Monday game against Havant and Waterlooville away from home. Pappy Gay got us a point in that one, but it is an absolute miracle we didn't win it. If we go into the match itself, we want to go and have a look at the proper match stats here. For the clear-cut chances, we had 6 to their 1. It was the first time Jatta was absolutely useless in front of goal, but aside from that, we're pleased with the performance, the way the team's playing, and largely the results we've been getting as well. So we go into these last 3 games, almost certain of our survival. We've got Salisbury on the last day of the season, which we mentioned would be a home banker. Maybe not the case now, because they're only actually 1 point behind Dorking, and they've got a chance of staying up with 3 games to go, which I'm pretty sure no one would have bet on at the end of the last episode. So well done to them for giving themselves a chance, but we're more focused on Slough Town. We've done a really good job so far since we've been here, and we'd love to just see out the season early so we can have a little play around with the squad and give a few of the youngsters a chance in the last couple of games. Speaking of youngsters, we've got a few in the club. We mentioned Brandon Kane, the 16-year-old last time, but we're also working on a few of the others as well. We've set up our first mentoring group at the club. We've got Wes Atkinson, who's a fairly professional player, was covering at central midfield in the last episode, but is now in his more familiar right back. He's working with a few of the younger players, Okadina and Rossi, the two centre-halves, and Luke Strachan, one of the sub-midfielders, just to try and get their personalities up to professional. And we're doing the same with Armani Daly as well, the right winger. He might have a bit of an influence on the group, but he's not too bad determination-wise. He's got 5, which is actually better than a few of our players at the club. And he's got some good player traits as well. So we'd like the players to learn from those two, but particularly Atkinson, of course. So hopefully this will just be a one-game episode where we get a result against Carshalton, we secure our survival and we're done for the season. Then we'll play the other couple of games off camera and come back for an end-of-season review. A very short one at a club we've only played a few games at. So let's get into this game and see what result we can get. We're away to our relegation strugglers. They're going to be scrapping for their lives, so are we. And you can see it's a fairly even game. It shows that there's not much between the squads at this level, as we're very slight underdogs against the side who are currently third bottom. We've got a team that's almost set in stone now. They're the same 11 that have started almost every game when they've been fit. So we've got Henry in goal, the fullbacks are Dearman and Atkinson with Rossi and Okadina in the middle. Fairlam and Daly are the wingers with Bridge and Makaka central midfield, and Gay and Jatta continue their brilliant partnership up front. We've got the new signing Ramirez and our star youngster Kane on the bench, alongside Linley, Harris and Stevens. Let's start the match and cross our fingers we'll have survival at the end of this game. You can see it's a 4-3-1-2 for Carshalton, not a formation I particularly enjoy playing against, but hopefully with our wing play we will take advantage of them there, even if they get a bit of running in the middle of the pitch. So we've encouraged the lads to do well, and let's see if we can create something early doors. Fairland with the ball on the left gives it away, and I'm pretty sure a highlight will end soon. It doesn't, it goes back to the centre half, and now it finally does end. A couple of minutes in, we've got a goal kick with Will Henry, a long clearance over the top which is headed away, and it's gone back forward. There's a bit of aerial pinball in the middle. Daly goes over the top towards Jatta, but Dandy heads it away for them. Roberts over halfway and Bridge brings it down. We need to try and get the ball wide because we're getting outplayed in the air in the middle. Daly takes on his winger and beats his man. What a cross that was, but it's knocked away. Makaka out to Fairlam on the opposite side. Delivers in, but front post headed away by Gordon again. Makaka out to Daly. Daly cuts inside to Gay. Gay's shot's blocked and it's gone wide again. And I'm a bit concerned that our wingers are tucking in already. We've got a long clearance down the pitch again, headed away by the centre-half, but only as far as Makaka. Out to the right-hand side to Daly. Not even 5 minutes in yet, and we've had plenty of action. Daly into Jatta. What a cross that was to the back post. And Jatta, the key man again, tucks the ball in. 14th goal of the season, and I'm pretty sure 5 or 6 of them have been since we've joined. We've got a throw-in the left-back area, but we've given it away. And now Carshalton having a dangerous position on the right-hand side with Dandy. Into Clamp, but it's cleared long. And now we can go up for the header, but we've lost out. Smith gets the ball to Kitchen on the left. Atkinson heads away in the right-back area and gets it back from Daly. Long ball up towards Gay, who wins the ball in the halfway line. They've given away a free kick, and it's one of the centre-halves. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, but this could be a red card, you know. It is. Carshalton are down to 10 men. We're just 7 minutes on the clock. They've sacrificed a young attacking player for a centre-half, and they're now playing a 4-3-2. Can we hold on for this result against 10 men? Moss goes for the switch ball to Malaba. Malaba on the right back area for Carshalton to Ward. Ward gets the ball into Smith in the middle, and they've got the extra man there, but Fairlam goes long over the top. Headed away, but only as far as Jatta to Gay. Gay gets the ball out to the right hand side to Daly. Daly taking on the man again. They're absolutely petrified of him. Finds Jatta in the box, but his header straight at the keeper Parker Trott, and Carshalton survive. Daly gets the ball on the right hand side and delivers. Hits Gay, but it's knocked away as far as Makaka. Out to Daly again, into Pappy Gay. We're 2-0 up, and we are going to be safe at the end of this game. We'll have an unassailable lead to Carshalton, and hopefully the bottom 3 will be the same. But as long as 2 of them are in that position, we don't care. We've got 7 points ahead of them, or 8 points it will be at the end of this game, and it looks like survival's on the cards. Daly with a long ball over the top is going to be cleared away by the centre-half, Dandy, who started the game at right back. He clears it, but only as far as Ward on halfway. Ward can bring it forward to Clamp for them. Clamp over halfway to Ward. Ward goes inside. He's got Smith with time and space in the middle there. Goes for the shot, but it's comfortably over, and we'll deal with those all day long. A quarter of the game gone, and we're 2-0 up. Makaka with a long clearance down the left-hand side to Jatta. Jatta's 2-on-2 here with Gay in the middle. Drags him a bit wide, but Gay goes for the shot. It's blocked by the centre-half and it's out for a corner kick. And we're starting to assert our dominance with the extra man here. Dearman with an in-swinging corner to the left-back is a little overhit and is headed away, but only as far as Makaka. Makaka gets it back out to Dearman again. He's got Daly there for support, but he doesn't use him. He tries to cross it on his weaker right foot and is blocked for a throw-in. Just 5 minutes to half-time, Dearman with a throw on the left to Fairlam. Lovely switch of play to Daly, who's got acres of space. His cross is blocked and is headed away by Smith. Dandy clears long downfield and Moss flicks it on, but it only goes as far as Atkinson, who goes back to the keeper, Henry. And we're very comfortable in possession at the back here. Atkinson with a long ball over, Jatta will chase it. Jatta gets there, beats the two centre-halves. The shot deflects and Gay can't get there. Kitchen clears for a throw. And we've got more attacking dominance to come as the highlight ends. It is half-time, we're 2-0 up and a man up. It's been a fantastic performance so far. We're just going to tell them not to get complacent, because you know when you're playing against 10 men you can just ease off, and we don't want them to do anything of the sort. Carshalton have the kick off and bring it down the left-hand side, but Daly intercepts brilliantly and Makaka all clear. They've got another highlight now just a minute later. Smith finds Moss and they've got an overlap on the left with Kitchen. Kitchen gets the ball in towards Clamp. The shot's blocked brilliantly by Rossi and it'll be cleared away by Dearman in the left-back area. He's shanked it out for a throw-in and the highlight ends. It's a corner now for Carshalton on the right-hand side, in towards Gordon, who heads it over. We've had a very quiet second half, which is fine by me at 2-0. And with 20 minutes to go, we're going to make some subs. Lindley's going to come on at left-back for Dearman, who's really apprehensive. He seems to have a lot of struggles mentality-wise. We're also going to take off the left midfielder, Fairlam, who's been poor. We'll bring on Harris for him and switch Daly over to the left. And we're also going to take off Makaka, who's struggling for fitness and for performance. We're going to put Bridge in the box-to-box role, and we'll bring on Ramirez, the sub, as the deep-line playmaker. I know we want to get the youngster Brandon Kane on as much as possible, but if we can secure survival today, he can actually start the next two. So that's the plan with not bringing him on in this one. We've closed down Smith as requested by our assistant manager, and we're just going to try and see out the last 10 minutes. We've gone a bit more narrow defensively to deal with their midfield three. Rossi gets the flick down from Bridge and is tipped behind for a corner. We're defending more narrow just because they're playing 3 central midfielders and 2 strikers. There's no width at all, bar the fullbacks, and we've got the wingers to deal with them, so we don't need the back four to worry about that. Another header one from the corner, but it's straight down for the keeper. And going into stoppage time, it looks like it's going to be our day. We'll have a look at the table in a minute to see how things stack up. But Clamps in one-on-one here, absolutely skies it, and that's the first clear-cut chance we've given away. We are going to be 8 points clear of Carshalton, who will be third bottom, so survival will be secured with 2 games remaining, and we'll get to play some of the youngsters and just relax for a couple of games and plan our summer. The game's over, it's a 2-0 win, a really professional performance, of course helped by a red card, but we were already 1-0 up at that point. We'll go to the dressing room and give the boys all the praise. I'm absolutely loving this club after a really sticky start to this career. Those of you who follow me in FM19 will know that things went pretty swimmingly from start to finish. We had a really stable start to the save with Bognor Regis and Endover. In this one, it's been completely different in FM19. We struggled at Hemel Hempstead. Dungannon, we had a board that had completely unrealistic expectations, but now it finally feels like we've found the right fit at Slough, and we can start almost as if it was the start of season 1 from next season, and just build a career starting here. Let's go and look at what they've said about the game, as our survival is secured. We've avoided relegation, and that's the main headline from it. Daly was brilliant with 2 assists, both for the front 2 got on the score sheets again. Billericay wrapped up the title at the other end, but that's none of our business for now. We've got the confirmation we've avoided relegation, which is brilliant. And we've had confirmation that Daly was the star man of the show. And we're going to go and praise him for that performance, because he was absolutely brilliant. Created great chances, including the 2 assists for the goals. So we'll go and play the last 2 games quickly off camera, and we'll be back in a second for a mini-season review, where we'll catch up with what Dungannon did this season, and we'll have a quick look at the Slough Town squad and a look forward to next season. So we'll see you in a second for that. Okay, we're back for our end of season review. We've just played our last game of the season. Unfortunately, we didn't get any more points after the last game we played on camera. We lost 3-0 at home to Dartford and narrowly at home to one of the form teams in the league, Salisbury, who unfortunately still got relegated despite that. We did give a few of the youngsters a go, so Brandon Kane played in both games. Joe Lindley came into the side. We gave Luke Strachan a game or 2 off the bench. So we did look a bit to the future, and as a result, I'm not too concerned about those two results. The one thing I have learned from the first two clubs is I need to do it my way. So there's a couple of players who have been annoying me, who have tried to cause trouble here and there. So we're getting very firm with those to make sure that our director of football gets the point that we don't like them, we're not using them, and we're going to try and force them out of the club. Just so we don't end up with a situation like we did at Hemel Hempstead and in the first season at Dungannon. So we've come back for the end of season review. One of the problems our director of football had was that none of the players wanted to sign contracts until we'd secured survival. We have now, and a few of them have signed on. So you can see not too many just yet, but Brandon Kane's got himself a 2-year deal. Jack Bridge joined the club on that contract, so there's no change for him. But McCarker and Daly, two of the key first team players, have signed deals already. One of the other ones that came up was Okadina, the big man at centre-half, a star player for us. Unfortunately, he rejected the contract the director of football offered him. And we've also got Jatta out of contract as well. One that I very much hope he'll be addressing very soon. Because if we lose our only natural goal scorer and the favoured personnel at the club, the fans could turn quite easily. The only ones I'm not too worried about really are Will Henry, who's the first choice keeper and a 4-star player. But from a personal point of view, I hate goalkeepers who haven't got good reflexes, so I have no problem if he leaves. He's also the highest paid player at the club and doesn't deserve that. Luke Fairlamb, who's an average left winger, we've not been overly impressed by him, so again, I'm neither here nor there. If they want to keep him, that's great. If not, then no worries, as long as they replace him with someone of equal or better quality. The main reason that he's the one I'd choose to go out of the average players is that he's 26 and most of the others are younger. The other one is Papi Gay that we've talked about already. We'd love him to stay, but unfortunately he's not going to get a work permit, so it looks like we're going to be working with a new front line next season. Of the non-contract players, the one that will definitely be going is Matthew Stevens. He's been the worst trainer at the club every week and we've had a lot of problems with him. You can see he's got concerns about how we've treated him, and that's just because we've complained about his training standard. You can see last week he was 5.85, and in the 7 weeks we've been here, the best he's managed is a 6.3, and I'm sorry, I refuse to put up with that. So he'll definitely be gone. I'll make sure our director of football lets him go, or we'll annoy him so much that he wants to release himself from his contract. But other than that, there's not much to talk about at this club. We will have a very quick look at how they got on during the whole season. The best average rating was Jack Bridge, and that's just a reflection of the fact that under me we did okay. So 6 games and a rating of 7, despite the fact he played on the left wing in one of the last 2. Appearance-wise, there have been a few stalwarts. Okadina and Will Henry are the 2 main ones, obviously, and most of the players that we've been playing in the first team have been here all season, as they're among the strongest performers at the club. In terms of goals, we've got Papi Gay, who got past 20 for the season, and Jatta, who got 14, but nearly half of those were under me. So that's a great start for him, and we'd love to see him stay. And in terms of assists, Daly got 10. Again, quite a few of those came in our few games at the club. And the front 2 assisted 6 goals each, mostly for each other, but either way, we're more than happy with their performance. Lastly, as promised, we'll go and have a quick look at Dungannon. We started the season with them. We got sacked in December on Boxing Day, in fact. We just want to see how they did. They finished 9th in the end. Let's see what the table looked like just before it finished. Here we go then. They were quite clear in the end. So they got about 14 points clear. But I wonder if any of those youth players got a run in the team. Let's go and have a look at that. Dungannon themselves, obviously their key man is now David Harkin, a player that we developed and gave a chance to when he joined last January. He's injured now, unfortunately. It doesn't look like too bad a one, and he is a fantastic player. Probably my favourite player from my spell there. If we look at the other players in the squad and we look at the first 11, none of the other youngsters were getting a go, apart from Adam Brolly. He's not a great player, and he didn't make many appearances after we left, to be fair. It must have just been the last game of the season. So a bit disappointing really that all our hard work with the youth development they've just let go, and most of the players aren't even in the first team squad there. None of them left the club, so they must just be rotting in the reserves or under 18s, and although they've managed to stay up this year, which we would have done anyway, I hardly see how that benefits them long term. We'll just have a quick look back at our league at Hemel Hempstead. They did drop out of the playoffs down to 9th in the end. Obviously, the big difference for them this year has been Jake Scrimshaw. He's the top scorer for them. He's the top scorer in the league, in fact. If we go and have a look, 23 goals he's managed to get. Jordan Park's got loads of assists for them. I guess because he takes all the set pieces, and with Scrimshaw running in behind as a playmaker, it's quite easy to play. But overall, I think we finally found a home in Slough Town. We've definitely got a contract for next season because we kept them up with time to spare. We finished further up the table than when we joined the club 6 weeks ago, and if all goes well over the summer, I'm quite excited for what will happen next season. So join me again in the next episode, where hopefully we can finally get this career up and running at the third time of asking. If you did enjoy this episode, please put a thumbs up on it, subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from this head coach series and our other story part of the furniture with Torquay United. But a massive thanks for watching this one as always, and we'll see you next time for the start of season 3.